So I'm here with Felicia Rateliff, and she's the talent that's behind our video. Thank goodness for her. I don't know how we would have put it together. So my question for you is, if I come to you is initially just to ask you to edit our video for us when we first started this Indiegogo campaign, what would you have said?
Well, when we first started the campaign, I had just suffered from a severe back injury. I had 2 bulging discs in my lower back, and I could not sit. That was the most excruciating pain of all, was sitting in a chair. So at that point, I would have absolutely said no, because there would be no way that I could spend that much time editing and focusing just and being seated, because I had no option to do that. At that point, I was laying in my bed sometimes, laying in bed with my laptop. I can stand for short periods of time and work, I started out changing my whole desk to a standing desk, but even doing that, I couldn't do that for long periods of time, because standing still for a while it was good, and then it would be painful. So I was really limited on options for working, and my entire job is in front of a computer, being still and working, staying in front of a computer. So it was very difficult. And
then I loaned you a soul seat.
Yeah.
What happened?
Changed my life. At first I couldn't sit for a real long time, and I still don't. But then I realized shortly after I got the soul seat that that's kind of the point. Sitting for a long time was the reason that I had the back problem in the first place. So I started working as a marketing manager for a PR firm about a little over a year ago, and it was the first time in my life that I had a job where all I did was sit in front of a computer. I used to teach, and so I was moving and had a lot more movement and momentum, and so the back injuries that I've had for years were there, but I could control them without even realizing, because I was always moving, and that kept my back muscles moving. Then I got the desk job, and I was sitting in a chair all day long, which caused my back muscles to completely degenerate, and I didn't even realize it. Wow. But once I had the injury and realized that I have to keep my back muscles working, the soul seat's really kind of the only option for me, because I'm always moving my back. Even though I have to sit, I am holding my back up myself, so my muscles are working even though I'm sitting in a chair. And it was such a great, it's really kind of the only option. I've had the exercise ball, but that didn't really do the same thing. I've tried, I've tried everything, and this is really the only way that gives me the option to sit when I want to sit, and I can also stand, and it's even better than having a standing desk. So it's really just changed my life.
And were doctors talking surgery?
Yeah. I was told when I went into the hospital with my bulging discs that I could do cortisone shots for a while, but it would never get better. I would probably never be able to bend at the waist again, do yoga, run, anything, and I just needed to get used to that. Or I could have surgery. But I opted not to do that. Part of what I'm doing is altering the way I work. That, along with a lot of other things. I exercise. I do yoga. I do a lot of things, and so the key is to constantly keep moving. And if I don't do that, then probably surgery would be the only option. And I don't want to do that. I'm avoiding it. So.
And are you back to yoga? And
Oh yeah, I do yoga daily. I do foundation training, which is similar to yoga. I walk and run with my dog. I'm back on my bicycle. I do everything. It took about 3 months of a lot of work. And as I said, at first, I couldn't even sit on the soul seat for very long. But over time, my muscles got used to it and stronger. And now it doesn't bother me at all. And I've noticed such a difference. I don't feel exhausted after the end of the day of sitting. I still feel like I've moved and I've worked and I've done stuff, and my body doesn't feel tired and tight. So now, I did yoga and things before, but it didn't work as well, because if I sat all day long and then I did yoga for an hour, I couldn't erase all that 8 hours that I was sitting. But now I'm actually building on my strength because I'm moving around all the time while I'm working, you know. So, and I don't even notice that I am. So I'm exercising my back muscles, my neck muscles, everything, while I'm sitting at a computer. And I don't even notice that I'm doing it. So I'm constantly improving my health without even thinking about it. And that's good. It really is changing my life.
Wow.
So I'm so excited about it. I don't know, I sound ridiculous like a commercial for the chair, but it really is cool. And I tell people about it all the time because I just don't really even know how people could, now that I have a chair like this, I don't know how you could go back to sitting in a regular chair. I won't. I'll take it with me everywhere I go because...
We'll take it. You're going to take it to a conference.
I am. I'm taking it to the BIF Business Innovation Factory Conference in Rhode Island, and everyone else will be sitting in stadium seating in an auditorium, and I'm going to put this in the aisle and sit so that I don't want to hurt myself by going to a conference. It's not even worth it to me. And if I didn't have an option like that, I probably wouldn't go. Because at this point, it's not really an option. I have to alter the way I sit, otherwise I will be having surgery. And it's that important to me because the only way that I can keep myself healthy and work is to have an option like this to sit.
Tell the story of the serendipity, because one of the folks you're going to the BIF conference is with Matt Murray.
Okay.
Tell the story about how you even found out about
Soul
Seat.
Okay. Yeah. So the way that I found out about the Soul Seat is really kind of it's just an amazing, weird, coincidental story that changed my life. That I was sitting in a local pub next to this guy named Matt Murray, who did the What If conference, and I had attended this conference, and we were talking, and while we were at the pub, he was sitting in a tall chair, and I was standing at the bar, and he asked me, why are you standing the whole time? And I said, because I cannot sit. It hurts too much, so everywhere I go, I stand. And he said, you should meet my friend, Pac Matthews, who created this really cool chair, and I think it might help you. So because of Matt, I met Pac, and we talked about the Soul Seat, and then he put me to work promoting him, making the video. But it was just amazing. When actually, the way that it happened was as we were talking about the Soul Seat, Pac's daughter Hannah came and sat next to us, and he was like, "Well, what do you know? Hannah's here. This is his daughter," and so she connected me with Pac. So it was just a really weird, cool way of getting introduced to this, which was meant to happen.
Awesome.
Yeah.